Master Your Mindset Radio, episode 119.
Welcome to Master Your Mindset Radio, the show where we empower you to discover your true self before the world told you differently. Now for your host, Elizabeth Nader.
Hey friends, welcome back to another episode. Always happy to have you here. I want to talk to you today about who you are and how you see yourself, how you figure out who you are, what you think about yourself. Who are you? This is a question that exists from the moment that we're born, probably until the moment we leave this earth. It's a constant question on some level of who am I? And if we look at the people in our lives and we look honestly at ourselves, we'll know that some answer this question more effectively and successfully than others. Some people sadly go through their whole life not really knowing who they are, and others actually figure this out and are continually striving to understand themselves better and be all that they were created to be. So it's certainly one of the most important questions we have to answer in life is who are we? Who are we? So how do you know who you are? You're born into this world and you need some sort of context for that. Now, it depends on what kind of family life you've had and the people that influence you, but likely you've either had good things created for you in terms of a framework of understanding who you are, or potentially negative things. We know that we are so affected by the people around us, and especially as children, but really our whole lives. We can, if we allow ourselves, be very affected by others' opinions of us. So much so that when someone has faith in us and faith in our abilities, it can completely transform our confidence and our potential to succeed. When someone sees in us what we don't see in ourselves, and it's something bigger than us and something positive, we have an opportunity to step up into that and become something that we didn't even realize we could become. So the positive side of this is huge. And your ability to be affected by people around you who see bigger things in you than you see in yourself is definitely there, as well as the power that you have to affect someone else in the same way. The power that you have to show someone that there's something bigger for them, that they are more than they are, more potential than they are right now, that there's a bigger plan for them, a way for you to influence someone, not just children, but someone in your life, and encourage them to reach for something bigger. So I think we understand the positive side of that. I think hopefully we understand that not only are we affected by people's opinion of ourselves in that way, but we have the ability also to affect others. And that's an important thing because we want to encourage each other. We want to give each other the kind of feedback that allows people we care about and those in our sphere to step into a bigger version of themselves. But what about the flip side? What about the negative stuff? Now, I think it's easy for us to talk about what happens to children who get that negative reinforcement. It's heartbreaking, and everyone has some of it. Some have a lot, some have less, but it doesn't take much. We've talked about before how someone in a position of authority who tells you something repeatedly, you believe. And that can be anyone that you give authority to in your life. And so as children, we're very, very subject to what people say about us, the picture people paint of us, and the way they see us. And we have a tendency to see ourselves through their eyes. So it's really, really critical to all parents out there that you do your best to paint a picture of your child and his or her potential in terms of positive things. Now, realistically, it's never going to be perfect. And a lot of us grew up in situations that weren't all positive. So not everyone has the same framework. And some people really have to do some work when they're older to get past of some of that negativity. I was blessed to have parents who brought me up in a God-honoring environment, and they told me who I was through God's eyes. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, how important that is. But for those listening, for adults listening, what do we do now if you see yourself negatively because of others? Think about it. How often are you giving yourself grades and giving yourself feedback based on what you see in other people's eyes? How is your self-talk? Is it negative because of the way people react to you? Are you easily swayed by the way other people see you or how they behave around you? I think it's very easy when you step out of the fullness of who you are and you don't continue to seek out why you were created the way you are and what you're supposed to do on this earth and continue to fight for that and push that forward. It's very easy to be swayed by and affected by the opinions of others. Simple things, the way someone reacts to you, to bigger things when somebody actually attacks you and goes after you, and that can happen. Certainly in this culture, cancel culture is everywhere. You just go on social media for a little bit and have an opinion and you'll be attacked. So it's very easy to be affected by that. And people end up feeling bad about themselves, questioning themselves, and wondering if who they are is not who they thought they were, if who they are is not good, if they have value. I see this a lot in people. And it's because of the fact that we are affected so much by the way others see us. And we have got to get over that. And the way you get over that is you become more assured in who you are and what you believe, what you stand for, what your moral code is, what you think you were created to do on this earth. The more and more that you understand that, the less you are affected by others around you. But it's a journey. It definitely takes time. It's something that I think if children can learn that at a young age, there's a lot less drama they go through in life and a lot less pain. But let's be honest, most people learn this as adults. You get to the point where they say, no, this is who I am, and your opinion of me doesn't matter. As long as I'm being true to myself and to my moral code, what you think is about you. It is such a breakthrough when you get to that point. I'm telling you, it took me 40 years to get to that point. And when I did, I never looked back. And the other day I was scrolling on social media and I heard this quote being played. And it was so just completely in this zone. I had to save it and write it down because I loved it, because it was basically saying, look, your issue is not with me, it's with yourself. And therefore, as long as I'm being true to who I am and to my moral code and to the path that I believe I was created to follow, that's your problem, not mine. Let me read this to you because it's really impactful, I think. And I want you to embrace this in a positive way. I say this with love because I have realized some truths. I am not intimidating. You are intimidated. There is a difference. I don't take up too much space. You are just used to people playing small. My inner light is not too bright. You are just used to dimming your own. I am not mean nor aggressive. I am honest and assertive, and that makes you uncomfortable. And I do not make you uncomfortable. My presence challenges your comfort. All of that is yours. I will not be less for you to feel better about yourself. Own your stuff. Now, that could have a little snarky read to it, I understand. And I don't recommend necessarily you say that out loud to someone unless you need to. But you need to have this framework in your head. When someone tries to put on you something that isn't you, when someone's negative view of you is in your face and threatening to change your confidence or derail you, when someone is acting up, you have to think in your head, wait a minute. I say this with love, but I am not this, you are that. In other words, I am not intimidating, you're intimidated. You have to own that. You have to own that. My inner light is not too bright. You're just dimming your own. You have to own that. I'm not being mean. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just being honest and assertive. If that makes you uncomfortable, you have to own that. I don't take up too much space. You just want me to play small. That's your issue. All of this is about you looking at yourself and saying, am I being true to who I am? Am I being true to my moral code? Am I being true to the path I believe I'm supposed to take in life? And if I am, and I scan myself and my motivations and my behavior, and I say, no, this is me, then that issue is theirs and you cannot take it on. You cannot own it and you cannot see yourself differently as a result of how someone reacts to you. Let's be honest. Really, when you are focusing on who you are as a person and chasing that destiny and purpose in life, it is going to make other people uncomfortable. It's going to make them realize that they're not doing it. It's going to make them feel small, and they're going to want you to be small because you're making them uncomfortable. When you realize this, so much is shed in your life. So much concern about what people think, about how they'll react to you. You just shed it because you realize that's their issue, and I'm not here to fix everybody's issue. I'm here to be true to who I am supposed to be. So if you're listening to this and you're saying, yeah, that's all good, but I don't know who I am, I've never figured that out, you need to figure that out. You need to figure out who you are, why you were uniquely created, because you were created on purpose for a purpose, and you need to own that and be strong in that and be confident in that. And if you haven't had the people around you or the upbringing to give you that base, to give you that confidence, then I recommend you go to a pretty trustworthy source, which is your creator, God, who created you. He knows who you are. He created you. When somebody creates something, they do it on reason and for a purpose, and they know that creation better than anyone. So if you're confused, if you're lost, if you don't know, go to his word and figure out what he says about you. You will find out that he will say things like, you are faithful, you are peaceful, you are loved, you are above and not beneath, you are victorious, you are gifted, you are capable, you are strong, you are confident, you are free, you are wealthy, you are called, you are one of a kind, you are beautiful, you're wise, you're humble, you're graceful, you're prosperous, you're blessed. You are created on purpose. You are one of a kind. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the apple of your Father's eye. You are chosen. I mean, these are just some of the words, and all of those can be found in Scripture. So why are all those there? To tell you who you are? Because he created you? And if you don't have that, if you've never been given that, or you don't understand that, start there. It's a pretty powerful place to start, because you can combat all those negative things that come at you from other people, from their issues, from the world, from your enemy, even from your own stinking thinking, with all of that, and say, no, that is not true. This is who I am. And as you begin to build that framework, you will start to push back on the negativity that threatens to slow you down, keep you small, keep you scared, keep you in fear, keep you from inviting risk and trying things out in life, keep you in a place where you're afraid to fail. All of that is meant to keep you bound and keep you small. People are not your enemy, but the thoughts that come against you and the words that come against you are, and they can be your own thoughts and your own words. So if you have to start here, start here. Start with the one who created you. But then begin to look around you at the people who love you and ask them, who am I to you? What do you see in me? If you don't have that framework yet, ask the people you trust, who love you, your friends, your family, and begin to see who you are. Because if you don't do that, you will always fall victim to other people's opinions. And you cannot thrive in a world where what other people do and other people say moves you one way or another. You will forever blow with the wind, and you will never be able to stay on a straight path that will take you to your destiny and your purpose. So I'm asking you today, who are you? And I'm challenging you to figure it out and to stand strong and tall and bold in who you were created to be. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you for listening to Master Your Mindset Radio. Before you go, please visit ElizabethNader.com to learn more about the Mindset Maven and how she is guiding high performers to map their mindset to their message so they can effectively express who they are and why their ideas should win. Looking forward to seeing you online.